Hello everybody. The designs that I've created in Rachel Kathryn Bridal have been done in such a way that they can be combined easily for bridal embroidery, which often covers a large area. And I'm going to do a combination today. I'm using my Husqvarna Premier 2 software and I have the Modify module open. The first design I'm going to show you is the design that I'm going to base the other two around, and this is number 7 from the third set, and as you can see it's a lovely oval shape. So I click on the Home tab and click Top Copy, and as you can see it's appeared down here in the little clipboard. I have a blank hoop open here. It's 360 by 260, which is my largest hoop that I use on my Epic, that can embroider out in one hooping rather than turning it like you do on the Majestic. So I'm going to paste that on there, and then I'm going to select it with a box select, and I'm going to move it up a little bit because the idea is to put a nice scallop design underneath it. Now, when you move things in your software, if you scroll in, zoom in, you can check your alignment, and it's most important that it's in the middle. So let's come back out again and deselect it. The second design I'm going to use is this one here, which is number 11 from the third set. I'm going to copy it. Now we can see it's copied, it's showing in the clipboard. We go back to our working file and we paste it on. Now as you can see it's gone over on top of the other one, so we're going to rotate it. It's gone up the other way, so I'm going to flip it and then very carefully bring it down underneath. Now as you can see, with scallop designs I often leave this central bit open. Zoom in and check the alignment. On your computer you've got little arrows, left, right, top and bottom, and these are usually the best way of moving the design. Now I'm not quite sure whether I've done this correctly. One of the important things about combining designs is that you put them close together so that they no longer look like two separate designs. There isn't much, there's too much of a gap here. So what I would say is I would do the freehand select, which is how I normally select here. And I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pull this down, checking how it's appearing. Now, notice now that the gap between this design here and that one here is quite small, the sort of gaps which are throughout the designs. Let's come out and deselect. Now it looks more like one embroidery, and that's important. Now to put up on the top bit, I'm going to open up number 18 from the second set. Now as you can see, the shape of this won't be right, but let's copy it, go to our working file and paste it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up here and I'm going to rotate it so that it fits in. The idea is to get them near to each other in this position here. I'm checking this bit here. I'm going to have a quick look at an original one that I put together. Let's get rid of all those commands. This one I have, this is how I combined them previously. As you can see, I left quite a gap there, and I've actually stitched this out already, and I'll show it to you. So let's compare the two. Move that out. yeah, that combines quite well. The only thing that really shouts at me is the fact that I've got two flowers here that are the same. Now, stupidly, I've deselected this, so if I paste again, I won't get it in that position. I won't get it in that position, and I'll have to move it again. So what I'm going to do is very carefully select around here. There are several tools in the software that enable you to do this. This is the one I prefer. So I'm going to copy and paste it. And then I'm going to move it across. And if you hit this little arrow in the middle here, it will reverse. So we zoom in, and to make sure everything is aligned correctly, I'm focusing on this little gap here. Now that's about the same each side. And then I look at another point, like the scroll work here on the twig. I've deselected it by mistake. As you can see, it's just the other side of that line, and it's just the other side of that line. So that's not a bad alignment. Let's come out and have a look at the whole thing. I'm going to go into the view mode and take off the grid, because that allows me to see it a little bit better. And let's just select the area of the design. Now notice how this all is fluid now. It all mixes in together, and it isn't obvious that we've got three designs here, but we have a nice shape. And obviously, if this was going to be for the back of a bridal gown on the train, then you could take this scallop here and put it to the left and the right. And you could also select these three designs, the oval and the two sides, and put them again above this and create a column up at the back of the dress. This is what I used to do when I was doing bridal embroidery. And obviously there will be a seam down the centre of the bride's train, and that will go right down the middle of the column. Right, I think that's fine. Now, as you see, we've got 43 colours here. We don't want to have 43 changes of thread, so we need to colour sort it. So go to the Home tab and colour sort, and that goes down to 18, which is a lot better. I'm going to centre it in the hoop because it's not centred, pull it back out, and there we have our combination. And that's how I create a combination for bridal embroidery. The only thing to do after that, when I've colour sorted it, is to save it as a new file. I hope you found that interesting. I love playing with designs in this fashion, and I'm going to show you another combination that I'm going to do. This would also actually, just looking at it now, this would also work quite well on the bodice of a dress, not just necessarily on the train, and it would also work on a veil if you wanted a highly embroidered veil. The important thing to remember about veil embroidery is it only really works if the bride has a plain dress. If you think of Meghan Markle's wedding, she had a very plain classic dress and a very detailed embroidered veil. So it's important not to have loads of embroidery on the train of a dress and loads of embroidery on the veil. That probably is a little bit OTT. But anyway, this is my combination for today, and I'm going to show you now some pictures of the stitch out. It may be slightly different because every time you combine designs, they look a little bit different. The positioning is slightly different. Thank you for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it and found it fascinating how I love to take my designs and combine them. Bye for now.